Yeah. And I'll give you the cue and record.
Hello.
Hey, man, how's it going, man? It's France. What's going on, brother?
Nothing. How you doing? How's it going?
Good, man. Good, good. Definitely. I'm only 9 minutes late, so black people time ain't so bad, right?
CT time, right? So I'm used to it.
So I just wanted to, before I get into everything, just give you a little icebreaker and kind of get to formally introduce myself a little more than what you probably seen online. So my name is France, and I've been following battle rap since 2005. I've been an advocate for the culture for a long time. I've been going to events. Actually used to write for a battle rap magazine. I did articles, done journal articles as well. So I love the culture, and just last year, I thought to myself, like, you know what, man, like this culture needs positive reputation, positive feedback, positive media outlook, you know. And there's a lot of
Mhm.
it's a lot of fuckery in battle rap. It is what it is. Like,
A lot.
we can keep we can keep it very straightforward. And I just wanted to be that guy that's like covering all content, all leagues, all MCs, because everything kind of matters and everything has a story that nobody really hears about or talks about. And as far as you,
Mhm.
my first time watching you was against Perfecto back in 2016. Then I backtracked, saw your old battles, and I've been watching, slightly, little by little, as time progressed. And just recently, you battled E Hard, and I was blown away by it. And I'm like, you know what, this needs proper coverage. Like this battle needs to be talked about. Somebody needs to hear what went down, the thought process, everything. That's what I was thinking about when I saw that
Thank you.
performance. So yeah, I'm a little long-winded, and as for you, feel more than free to be long-winded because I definitely really want to pick your brain and just learn a little bit about you and just your artistry, your work, the effort you put into it all, and yeah, man. I actually wish you was in New York. I thought you actually was based out here because I actually I
No.
have a studio in New York for the podcast.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I'm out here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I see that, man. So
Mhm.
that's just pretty much me. And before I move forward again, I just want to say one more time, thank you for your time, man. Because as a whole, for battle rappers and just music artists in general, I know your time is limited, and y'all around the clock all the time. So
Mhm. No
artist,
problem.
anytime I get an artist to give me 30 minutes, an hour at a time, I appreciate the fuck out of it.
Yeah. No problem.
No doubt, brother. So let me get into this intro, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, another episode of Let's Talk Battle Rap with your host, France. You can follow the show at We Talk Battle Rap on Twitter. You can follow the show on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, Let's Talk Battle Rap. And today on the show, I have a guest. To introduce our guest, he is, as he quotes himself, the trailblazing pioneer. You just seen him recently against E-Hart. He's been on LA Battleground Prison Battle League, and he has been openly the first gay battle rapper. Fly King I, welcome to the show.
Glad to have you. Glad to be here today.
Yeah, man, thank you. We're glad to have you, man. So I seen the battle with E-Hart, and I
Mhm.
got to admit, I was pretty blown away by it, and I really wanted to learn more information about it. I really want to know, how did this match come together? Like.
Mhm. Well, first of all, shout out to Araje, who is the owner of Opulence Battle League. That was actually his first event. He was actually a general manager over at Queen of the Ring,
Mm-hmm.
so he had a lot of connections with the Queen of the Ring artists, with Babs and Debo. So he wanted to put a card together, and he actually, because Ehart saw me, because I brought up Marasha on another league in Brooklyn. So shout out to Steve Battle League, Peter Don, and QB Black Diamond. That's their league. So Ehart saw me there. So he called Ehart because him and Ehart are cool. And he said, "What do you think about Fly King?" And said she was with it. And they set it up and said we was gonna make it the main event and make it this big thing. And I'm like, "Dope, let's do it." And it went down.
you used to main event, and I think your second battle ever, you were main event, and then you were main event over
Yeah.
at a Prism League too.
Yeah, and I was main event when I was supposed to battle Daylight, but he
I
didn't show
remember
up
that. I
at the
remember that.
tournament.
You
Yeah,
had the red ski mask ready for it. You just had to get the rounds off.
ready.
You're like, you know what? When you craft a round for Daylight, you can't save this for nobody else. I'm just gonna get it out. That's what you was probably thinking.
Yeah. I was like, that's why I put it out because I was like, I can't even like say this to nobody else. It'd just be like, so I just put it out. And I'm the type of person I feel like if I come up with something, I can come up with something else, so it's not a big deal.
Right. And when you first got the announcement, right, that like you were gonna battle E Heart, like you gotta remember, like E Heart is like top tier in the female battle rap world. Like,
Mhm.
she's like highly respected, one of the pioneers of it all, and the first female battle rapper that was on Smack alongside with Miss Hustle. So I know when you got the battle,
Right.
you were like, yo, I can't play around. What was your thought process there, realizing like, yo, this might be my biggest challenge right here?
I think my thought process was like, how am I gonna approach her? What am I gonna say? Am I going to be? Cause I have a way of being disrespectful in my own little way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, am I gonna be disrespectful? Am I just gonna have bars? And it was just kind of like, no, it's E Hart. You got to just go crazy. You got to give her. You got to give her everything you got. Like,
Right.
go on and say it.
You opened it out strong, and you know what? I don't know if you realize this, and maybe you did. If it was a strategy of yours, and I want to pick at it, you opened your battle with like performance bars, joking at her, clowning at her, and one of E Hart's weaknesses over the years was just her lack of performance. And not a lot of battle rappers get a chance to really make jokes on her because she's so bar heavy that they want to compete with her bar for bar. You opened up instantly to rock the crowd. That you knew that was like, all right, this is her weak spot. Let me point at it, or it was just you being yourself and it hit.
I think because normally the first round is probably something I would save for the third round. But I said, I don't know if I'm going to go first. I don't know if she's going to go first or what she's going to come off with. And I think I'm battled enough to know that if you have a strong first against like a vet, it's going to be hard for them to get back the momentum of their first round. Like, I felt like if I can get a strong reaction by just saying a couple of words, not the things from the ring and it's in the room going crazy. I didn't even say nothing yet. I didn't even get it. It's been 10 seconds.
Right.
I've been rapping. So I'm like, if I can do that, I can at least make it a debatable battle. You know what I'm saying? So That's what my strategy was. So I decided to put one of my strongest round first instead of doing it last.
Right. And that's strategic, man. I think people forget sometimes in battle rap, like, yeah, you craft these rounds, but the placements of them dictates everything.
Right.
This takes everything, and more importantly, the energy level of it all. Like, I don't think you've had this situation, and if, from your last 9 other battles, you can enlighten me if you felt this way. Losing the first round, right? When you go first and you lose the first round, and then it's the top of the second, it's on you to gain momentum from the crowd back and swing them back in your favor.
It's hard.
It's the most difficult thing to do. People undermine it a lot.
It's very difficult.
A lot of your battles, you've been pretty dominant, to be honest. Like you beat Cali M, you beat Perfecto, more like a lot of your battles for me. Like I didn't really have you having that much pressure from your opponent, more just from like the crowd adapting to you.
Mm-hmm.
Or would you disagree? You felt like you have received that pressure from your opponents in the past? Because I can't recall. I
feel like I haven't received the pressure from my opponents. I think one thing that I've learned going into it, even with Perfecto, because most of my opponents, including E Hart, we have this conversation after the battle, and I think when people see me on YouTube, it's different from when you see me in person. So I think people write for me on YouTube and think in their head like, oh, he's just gonna have jokes, so I'm just gonna bar him or have these bars.
No,
and all that performance is not gonna matter.
They're
and
fooled.
then they get in front of me, and it's like, oh shit.
Right. You're actually very bar heavy. Like, you land a couple of the haymakers down the line and everybody's like, oh, hold on. And they open up their ears a little bit more.
Yeah. They try to say I just have performance, But I feel like I'm a good writer also without the performance.
No,
So it just goes hand in hand.
I have a lot of respect for your pen, honestly, and the way you crafted it, and you layer it. Like you're not just a 4-bar setup. You're layering it, and you're rapping along with it, and and you've had the pleasure of battling in a lot of small rooms, so people get to hear you rap. You don't get like a lot of pauses and
Yeah.
reactions. So like that's been a really good trait to somebody to watch you, and down the line, like okay, now let's put King on the big stage and see what it'll be like. And since you have performance,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a problem. You can do it.
Mhm. Hopefully they get me on a big stage soon. I've been out here fighting to get the door open, so we'll see.
Thinking about the future, right? Before we get into that, I want to get back to the past, and I really want to learn about your introduction to battle rap. Like, I know I've done some research on you, so I know you've been an artist since about 2011, 2012, rapping, or probably even longer. But you started off in music, and like most battle rappers do, they start off in music. When did you transition to battle rap?
I transitioned to battle rap because battle rap was always something I was always interested in. I used to watch the Smack battles back when there were DVDs,
mm-hmm.
and they had the Come Up DVD. I used to watch the Come Up DVD.
Yeah, I remember the Come
Up. It's not a very big thing over here on the West Coast. It's kind of grown a little bit bigger than it might have been maybe 5-6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it just was something I always felt like I could do. I think that I had people telling me, I don't think it's a good idea. There's never been a gay rapper. It's never going to work. No one would be able to take him seriously. But I think I knew I had a formula that, people say that you can't listen to other people because they don't see your vision. So I knew I had a way to be aggressive in my own way. I don't have to go talking about guns. I can do it in a different way and attack my opponent, and I knew that. So I seen that Grind Time was having a tryout here in West Hollywood. So I went to the tryout, and I remember they paired me up with somebody randomly.
Right.
This was a Mad Ills was running in, and they paired me up with somebody. I'm trying to think of the nigga name. I can't remember the nigga name. But they paired me up with him, and they said, I think they gave us 2 rounds, which is weird, but we had 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Cause, we got 1 round, and then you get another round of rebuttal, whatever your opponent said.
Mm.
And everybody was looking at me like, what he was finna do? Like, I was so nervous, and I ended up killing them, and everybody was going crazy, and that's, the rest is history from there.
Yeah, man. So, like, I've seen an interview on you, right? And in the interview, I'm going to quote you. You said, the beginning of your battle rap journey, it was difficult to get a battle. And
yes.
I really want to learn a little bit just more details of like what was going on like in your mind to like overcome the pressure and the difficulties of just getting booked, like not even performing well, just getting booked and then eventually having to prove yourself because you have to work twice as hard, not just being gay but just going into a crowd that like you're kind of already like hated on, like whether you're a battle rapper that nobody wants to see you're from a different city, you're a different ethnic group, you're already coming into there with hostility, so that's already difficult. And for you seem very resilient in the way you carry yourself and as if it never bothered you. Like you were nervous, but you followed your game plan. Talk to me a little about that. I definitely want to learn.
I think coming up in the game, I started, rapping. I rapped on the league called Just FTV. I did my thing. I've rapped, in San Francisco, which from LA is about a 6-hour car drive. It's like way on the other side of California. So I was doing my thing, and then finally I got on LA Battlegrounds, which is probably the biggest league over on the West Coast. So, which I always wanted, was a goal of mine. And I was able to get on that league without even having to do a tryout. They put me on the card, and they put me against another gay guy, which I think had a lot to do with it. I ended up 3-0ing him. His name is Just Josh. And what I noticed was it never was a problem with me getting booked. I consistently had battles this whole time I've been rapping. The problem was it was hard for me to book somebody that would elevate my tier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, at the end of the day, battle someone who's at a certain level for you to get to the next level. It's like Mortal Kombat. You got to battle the next person to get to the boss at the end of the game. And it was hard because they would ask people, even willing to pay people, and people would be like, no. And then they would take opponents that wasn't as good as me, that didn't have the same views as me, that wasn't getting the same buzz as me. And it just was something that struggled. And also, it's the reason reason why, I just thank God for the East Coast, because I was able to continue to move, because on the West Coast, all the guys would say no. So if it wasn't for these opportunities I was getting on the East Coast, which is ironic, because all of most of the rappers on the West Coast strive to get booked on the East Coast, and I'm getting booked on the East Coast, and it's just still no one. If you ask on the West Coast, well, this person battle me, this person battle me, who's a name or whatever, who's has a certain buzz, they would say no, even though I'm doing more than even they are. Like, I'm a rapper and freshman. I get angry fan coverage. I get coverage of 15 minutes of fame coverage all over that a lot of guys wish they could get, at my stage. And, it's hard for me to book a battle. I don't know if that has a lot to do with they scared, or it's risky to battle someone like me, or, all the different list of reasons we could go down. But it's always been difficult. I've even been in situations where I know people were going up to different league owners and telling them, well, you can't book him because, that's the gay agenda. Like, it's just been a lot behind the scenes that people don't even know about that I've been through. But I think for me, it was just kind of like, this is bigger than you. You're able to do something that no one has ever done in the history of battle rap. So you have to, you have to just keep trying to push forward. Even when I stood there to battle Perfecto, I say something, and it's like in the crowd, they was calling me faggots. They were saying all types of stuff. And I remember being up there. I remember like it was yesterday, and I was saying to myself, like, look, you already up here, so you got to give it your all. Don't be nervous, because we're going to show on your performance. So just act like everything good, and as soon as it shows, as soon as they say Fly King is on you, just get in your bag. Fuck them. And that's what I did.
You did great against Perfecto. I actually had you win that battle 3-0. And that was you battled on a legendary card. LA Beef 2 was a really big card for LA Battlegrounds.
Yes.
And
it's for the West Coast in general.
It's interesting that you pointed out that, like, the West didn't give you as much love as the East because of, your orientation. Right. But when you think of hip hop, right, and gay rappers in hip hop, it all kind of originated with the Deep Dick Collective out in California, in Oakland. They were some of the first rappers that kind of like broke through, and they opened up the Peace Out Music Festival for homo hop in hip hop. So you would think that California kind of has like a base of support, but it's interesting how it's interesting how like you had to literally fight through it. And you know what? Unfortunately, that you had to like work twice as hard. It put a chip on your shoulder that made you like perform as well as you did, because it makes you, write as hard as you can, prepare as hard as you can, say to yourself, I can't afford a slip up. Like, I'm already hated on. So if I even slip on the bar, if I choke, if I stumble, I'm getting booed out of here,
Right.
And it puts that pressure for you to like just excel and break through. And I was going to ask you, but you mentioned it yourself, how like you can make history. And I guess you were aware of that. Like, I have to suck it up, because honestly, if I do this well enough and I execute and I'm liked and respected, I can open doors, which you probably did. And it must have felt great.
Yeah, what did you say?
I said it must have felt great to know, like, okay, I can open doors with this,
It does feel great. Like, I get so many DMs and messages and all types of stuff, and it feels great to be able to do that, especially to persuade people who doesn't understand people like me, who doesn't, like people like me because of preconceived notions. There's so many guys in battle rap that I've met, on this journey that I tell you, like, what, I really didn't, fuck with the gay community like that. But after I get the reaction I get, it's just like, you guys, it just seems to me like you guys are just people like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you guys aren't aliens. People.
That's what people act like, though. Like, we're aliens, and it's like we're just people like everyone else.
Right.
We might live a little differently, act a little differently, but we're just people just like everybody else.
But
pretty normal.
To also add on to kind of like the awkwardness of like coming into a battle being hated, not just being gay, but just also being a different ethnic group. Because if you mentioned earlier, you watched Smack DVD back in the days. You remember Jin. Mm-hmm. We all want to ignore this or sweep this under the rug. But when Jim was first battling, nobody wanted to give him a chance because he was Asian.
Right.
And we had Caucasian battle rappers corner to corner, and people didn't want to give it a chance. So Ira Solomon broke through, won tournaments, and was on Smack. And then everybody's like, oh, well, now we got to pay attention to the white battle rappers. And so as a whole, like I love that battle rap eventually opened up and became more vulnerable, where like we started allowing females, we started allowing any kind of artist of any kind of ethnic group, but it we forget the breakthrough that it needed to take in the time period of like it being dismissed, it being
Yeah.
not wanted. It had to fight for its spot in hip hop or in battle rap hip hop,
Right.
and that's a
Mhm.
story in itself because of like it's incredible the mental bearing that you have to go through just to like step on that stage
Jesus
knowing
Christ.
just to step on that stage
People
knowing
don't know.
that you're gonna get, and I'm surprised too. Like you probably said to yourself, "Well, I'm gonna do this battle rap thing, and battle rap is nothing but disrespect, so I'm ready."
No, but it's crazy. Like when I watch the Perfecto battle, I really look at that. I really look at it as me, but I really look at Sly King and look at that person. I'm like, who is that person, and how were they able to do that? Like, because I remember how I was there. Obviously, it's me. So I remember, like, I really felt like I don't think I could do this. Like, I really felt like, and it's funny because people who was there, they seen me like when I got in the building, right? When I just got there, I got my little wristband, and they was like, people were like afterward, like the owners and stuff was like, you was over here in the corner, and you was pacing back and forth. We seen you. You kept going to the bathroom. Like I was really like trying to get it together, like 'cause it was
Oh, so
so
you were a
nerve-wracking
nervous
that day.
wreck the whole time, right before the
I was
battle.
a nervous wreck the whole time. Like you would have thought I was gonna choke. I probably did think I was gonna choke. I was a nervous wreck because I already knew. And on top of that, it's just like what you said, LAB2 ended up being one of the biggest cards for the West Coast in general. You got Danny Myers on the card, you got
Beat
B-Dot
down.
battling, you got all these people on the card. You got Daylights on the stage. Like everybody on the West Coast is in the building right now. So it was just so much pressure. And and when people think about how they put together battle rap cards, they saved the best for last. So me and Perfecto was the second battle of the night. So that just gives you an idea on what the league thought the battle was going to be. And they ended up putting that battle on pay-per-view, and it was getting, buzz everywhere. So they didn't even know it was going to do that.
It
You know
was
what I'm
it was
saying?
your most.
So
I remember it was your most viewed battle to date.
right, it was.
And you were nervous, like you just said, but that was I think maybe your sixth, seventh battle by then. Any battles before that
Right.
where you had any like nervous breakdowns or nervous like moments or like being heckled that kind of like you had to overcome? Like that couldn't have been the moment where you're like, I'm finally gonna get over all this, because right before that you battled a handful of times too. So were there any other
I
battle?
battled before, but I think that it was funny because I used to go out there, and it was kind of like everybody would look at me because I could just feel like everyone's like energy and everyone's how they're perceiving me. And it was more like I'm gonna show them, like watch this, like wait, I can't wait to go. It was different. I was a little nervous, but not so much. That Perfecto battle, like I really felt like I want to go home. Like I was that nervous. Like I want to go home. Like I remember that. That was crazy.
Wow, man. And moving a little off your past now, so then you battled out in Prison Battle League, and you got a lot of your looks from LA Battlegrounds and Prison Battle League, and I kind of wanted to ask you, not so much about the league, but more about who hosted your battle that day. And I don't know if you have a good relationship with them, but I would love to know if you do, and kind of like talk to me a little bit about the influence they may have had, not just on you, but the whole scene of battle rap. Sarah Connor, the godmother of battle rap.
Sarah Connor is, like you said, she's the godmother of battle rap. She's been in the game forever. And that's really why I wanted to go over there because, it was her situation. And I was like, that's crazy. I get to battle in front of Sarah Connor. So it was definitely an honor. I love her. She's always been so supportive of me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. It's too bad because I've only battled over there once and I only did one round because it was around the same time I was supposed to battle Daylight. So a lot of people told me to cancel that battle, but I was like, I can't cancel that battle. So I just went over there to do one round, or whatever. And I've hosted a couple of events for Prison Battle League. But I love Sarah Connor. It's definitely that being her league had a lot to do with me going over there. And I felt like it was an opportunity to introduce myself to the East Coast audience, because there's going to be a lot of people there, and word spreads around. And I knew it was going to be an opportunity for me to be in a room with people from New York and it would get me more opportunities because on the West Coast, it's very hard for me to move around. Like my last 3, 4 battles have been I had a
Out here
battle
in
in
the East.
Ohio, and
Yeah, yeah.
the last 2 was in New York. Like I haven't even battled in the West Coast in almost over a year. So I knew I had to do something, or I was gonna be stagnant because people are trying to get me booked over here, but this one says no and that one says no. So I definitely appreciate Sarah for her platform and allowing me to even come over there. She actually knew who I was and everybody else didn't. It was funny. She knew who I was and everybody else didn't. And then when I performed, she was like, I told you. And she was like, that performance was flawless. So I love Sarah, and it was an honor to be able to meet her
Yeah,
and school with her.
you spit about 4 minutes of a round, while Callie had about, I think, maybe 8 9 minutes of material, literally double your round,
Yeah.
and you clearly outclassed them. And I was just like, wow, okay, that's impressive always, to like outclass somebody in less of the time needed always. And I did like that
Yeah,
battle.
thank
And
you.
what? So you haven't been in LA Battleground for over a year now. Last time you battled there was against Link.
Yes.
Wow. Are things starting to change now? People are starting to see a little bit like, wow, you know what, we were wrong about this guy.
What was crazy? What was so crazy is when I battled Ehard, I came back a couple of like the next week. LA Battlegrounds had an event, and that's when they had the Bonnie was supposed to battle Strick, and
Yeah, they had
Scorpio
domestic
was supposed
violence
to battle
too.
Daylight.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
card. So I was there, and when I was there, everybody was coming up to me like, "Oh my God, we heard you. What happened with Ehard?" And I'm like, "This is crazy because this happened across the country." But people was telling me like, "Oh, in battle rap, news travels fast." So I'm like, "Okay." So everybody was talking about it, and everybody was so excited. It just really felt good to get all that feedback from everybody, from LA Battlegrounds, all those artists that were there, and everything like that. Do I feel like things have changed as far as like now people are going to, want to battle me? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to change. But I feel like people's perception about me as a battle rapper did change because I did get a lot of people come up to me and said, what, I always felt like you being a gay artist was just a gimmick, but you're actually really talented, and I apologize. A lot of people apologize, and so I was like, okay, whatever. But I feel like it's a big iceberg, and you have to chip at it one chip at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you. And the thing about battle rap, fans are so fickle. So like the second you're hot, you're hot. Everybody's on top of you. Like, oh my God, you just won this battle over here. You got a 3 over here. You should battle Lux now.
Right.
That's how they talk, especially on the internet.
Right.
So like you having a very good performance, I wouldn't be surprised if now some doors are starting to open up because you not just you had a see in battle rap is weird, right? Since there's no wins and losses, you have the first. It's kind of like you're battling 3 people. You're battling yourself, your opponent, and like the longevity of like the performance you're gonna put on, because you're not just battling for
Right.
the moment. You're battling for the camera. You have to be better than what you last were. You have to not lose by your by your adversary. Like whoever's in front of you, you cannot lose to them. Clearly, just all you can do is make it as debatable as possible, and stay entertaining where people want to see you again. And I think you did all 3. Like this was your best performance to date. You battled a very good name who didn't take you lightly neither, by the way. And more importantly, you look good on camera. Only thing I didn't like about the battle on camera is the audio could have been better. Didn't do any of you guys justice. I wish that audio was just a little clearer because that battle was really good. That channel only has about 270 subscribers, and that battle hit 15K views. Those are genuine views,
It's crazy too because it did something like 1,000 in the first 2 days and like 5,000 in a week, which like you said, for a new league, whatever, and it's out at 15,000. But it's just like what's crazy, and I just keep like shaking my head at it. It's just like the people, like I look at it and it's like very emotional for me because it's just like, damn. There goes this gay guy who they said will never be able to do this. You'll never be able to do this, and you're too flamboyant, and it's just not going to work. And for me to be able to do that is just amazing. Like I cannot believe that at all. Like that, like the response from the battle. Like Steam's been talking about the battle. Calico tweeted about the battle. Like
right.
It's just crazy. Twerk was saying he was about to jump on stage when I said you're going to die in 7 days. So it's just it's very overwhelming.
Yeah, man. You got to think about like with the viewership of things on YouTube. Like it works in really tricky ways, right? Well, think of Smack. Smack's the
Mhm.
biggest league in battle rap. They have about maybe 750,000 subscribers. So that's 750,000 people in the world that get a notification when any video gets uploaded. All those people have to do is just click the notification, and that's a view, right?
Mhm.
This league has 270 subscribers. So for 15,000 views for that little bit of that's not even a fraction of the amount of views
Mhm.
for the subscribership. So like there's a lot of people actually clicking the battle, wanting to see what happened, hearing the positive feedback for it. And if you read there's more comments than subscribers on that video.
Mhm.
The comments are
Mhm.
positive. All the comments are like, "Wow, I wanted to go into this hating it, but this guy got fucking bars." That's like every single
Mhm.
comment going into it. So I know that must really give you like a a relief feeling, like a boulder off your shoulder. Like
It
yes,
definitely did. And then when before the battle came out, it was 11 subscribers on that channel. So it's grown from 11 to 200 and wherever it is now.
that's
Now,
funny.
but
That's funny.
it's been crazy because it's getting like 5,000 every week, and it's just like I'm just like this is crazy. And then even before the battle came out, me and Perfecto was like at maybe 11, 12,000, and now me and Perfecto at 10,000. Me and Marasha was like at 7,000, and now me and her are at 10,000. So it's crazy because people are actually binge watching my old battles, which is crazy. Like, and
you
so
you
many people are
you're
commenting
easy
like, I,
you're easy to digest in the sense because you only have 10 battles. You don't have like 20, 30 battles like other up and coming battle rappers have, or other battle rappers may have. And more importantly, all your battles have been in small settings where you get to rap. Like we don't have to watch
mhm,
a 40-minute battle. Like if somebody has
mhm,
15 battles and each battle is 30 to 40 minutes, that's a lot of time consumed. A lot of your battles are
right,
16 minutes, 20 minutes. You can digest maybe 4 of your battles within an hour. And so people will just keep
mhm.
watching and watching and watching, and they're like, "Okay, this guy's dope. It's easy to follow." And with so little battles and this much of a buzz, your next 3 to 4 battles are going to be important. People are going to be like tuned in all the time.
Yeah, that's another thing that's crazy because my problem now because I am getting so many different offers to come here and to come there,
Wow.
but it's just like damn because it's like at this point because you battle E hard, it's like your next move got to be the best move. Like I can't just take anything because you got to be strategic at this point. At least till you get to a certain level, and then you could go ahead and battle wherever like certain people, but. So that's the only problem I have now. It's like, well, who do I want to battle next? And is
I
it
think
gonna? It has to make sense.
so. In the sense of a fan and kind of like media analyzing you, this would be my like
Mhm.
advice to you. I think you need to call
Okay.
somebody out, like who you want to battle. Let it be known, and put the pressure out on them because you can say, "I just had a great performance and I beat one of the best female battle rappers that can probably beat you." Like, so I'm calling you out, and you put
Mhm.
that name out there or you put a hit list out there and see who bites because that gives you the chance to start like going back and forth with blogs, going back and forth with the shit talking, building it up because I actually want to see you in an environment next time that's hostile where like you and the person battling do not like each other and you really want this person out of here. After it's all said and done,
Mhm.
it's business and you chop it up. But beforehand, going into it, I think that will really put a good chip on your shoulder. We're like, yo, I said, like now all eyes are on me. I've gotten this far. I can't go back.
Right. 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 Okay. All right.
Well, that's for me.
I'm gonna
That's my
take you up on
opinion.
the offer.
Yeah, that's my opinion for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's what I would love to see next from
I'm
you.
with that.
Hopefully, yeah, yeah. And you're gonna be tricky to write for because I'm gonna quote you here. You're too worried about me being gay than your family being straight. I love that line. I love that line.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love that line because it's like you're literally telling your opponent, like, yo, you're gonna come here with gay bars, like it's gonna get you a chuckle or two, but you can't, come with 3 rounds of just straight gay bars. It's not gonna work. Like my last 10 opponents tried
Mhm.
it didn't work, and so now people have to really come creative, come in there trying to really bar you out without none of that, and then it becomes a lyrical slugfest, and I love that. That's what I love in
Mhm.
battle rap. Let's get back to the
Yeah.
bars.
I think also too, I don't have a problem when people talk about my sexuality, but I think if you're going to do that, you have to be real creative and have like a point to why you're bringing it up because I think people don't get like I think people feel like, okay, I'm gonna mention you being gay, or I'm gonna say this about you, or you're gay, or you like to bend over, the gay joke. But the thing is, I know who I am, and I tell everyone that's who I am, and this is who I am, and this is how I present myself. So you saying that is not embarrassing me. It's not making me feel away. Even people could laugh, but I've dealt with being gay my whole life. So coming into battle rap is just kind of like, a lot of people, you don't know someone's backstory and the things that they've been through and been ridiculed. So coming to battle rap is just kind of like, that's it. Like, you calling me gay. That's like, you need a little bit more than that. You need an angle that makes sense. Make me feel, bad about me being gay, but just saying that I'm gay. I feel like people just say that I'm gay and that's it. There's no point to it, no moral to the story, no creativity.
There's no angle to it. There's no angle. Nobody's angled you yet.
No angle to it.
Yeah, no,
right.
But you have, to be fair, a lot of the guys you battled have tried to follow the punchline recipe, and that only gets you so far. You're very original, and that's why you stand out. Your delivery, the way you rap, the cadence, and your performance. Just being a punchline specialist only gets you so far. You have to be an elite punchline specialist because there's only a handful out there. So the gay punches don't work for a whole round, let alone a whole battle against you. So they got to throw that out the window. And, now that you mentioned kind of like how difficult it was, like always having to deal with it because you grew up like it, I would love for you to like give me a moment to like give an inspiring word to an artist, right? That is homosexual and that is trying to come up in battle rap. Like, what was something you would tell them as advice? Like somebody that broke through and is finally being accepted by the crowd and respected for your lyricism. What's something you would tell them?
What's something I would tell them to like motivation?
Yeah.
I would say understand that it's not about you. And if you can understand that it's not about you, it's for people like you, then you'll be able to maneuver better and you won't take things so personally. And things won't upset you so much because you understand that there's a bigger picture here. What you're doing is bigger than you, and you have to just keep telling yourself that. Because if you sit there and digest all this ways people are coming at you because of your sexuality and take it personally, you're not going to ever be able to do that. And you have to have tremendous thick skin because, like I said, it's not even just battling that I have to deal with. Standing in front of an opponent who's going to talk about me being gay in front of a bunch of people who are homophobic.
You're battling the world.
Also things that are done to me. Not even that, but there's also I'm also attacked behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And it's never something I'm going to, go. A lot of people go on Facebook and expose behind the scene. I don't do shit like that. But I will say I have been attacked also behind the scenes so many ways. So you have to not take things personally. And you have to be really, really strong and have a lot of thick skin. And if you can understand that you're fighting for something bigger and you're fighting for something monumental that could just change the game, then, it'll be all worth it for you at the end of the day.
Yeah, man, that's deep, man. That's really deep, and I even before speaking to you, I had a really profound respect for you because I know just beyond your orientation, just being a battle rapper is difficult as a whole. People forget,
right.
Like so, you gotta really, you gotta love it because if you don't love it, then this becomes a task where you're taking battles for checks and you're not really writing rounds, you're slipping through it. So if you don't love it because of how difficult it is, you're not gonna have fun with it. So that alone, I give respect to anybody that's like performing well. It's original, and plus originality matters to me a lot. We can admit the market is oversaturated. So if you just sound different, you're already winning the battle. I feel
like you get ridiculed for being different in battle rap. I feel like if you're different, it's like, oh, you're not like this, or you don't do it like this, or you don't say it like this. So people try to discredit you because you come and you approach things differently.
I'll take the different approach and the originality over the same style over and over and over again because if somebody has the same style with no personality, then there's nothing really behind it. Like battle rap is grown where it's more than the bars. It's the personality, it's who you are, it's how you present yourself, the presence, it's a whole bunch of things. And if you don't come with the package, like you're just not gonna keep people attracted to the idea of listening to you. Forget who you are as an MC. You have to entertain these people for 180 seconds a cappella. That's not easy.
Right.
It's not easy
No, that's
sometimes.
not easy. I never really thought about it, but looking back, it's not easy. And one thing I've always, I always, and when I'm rapping, I'm aware of what's going on in the room and the energy, and I know I have a lot of moments where I'm like, damn, like it's quite. You can hear an ant hiss right now. Like people are really listening to what I'm saying. Like, and it just would be so overwhelming to me. Like, damn, they really listening to what I'm saying. This is crazy.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure. And moving on a little more like into battle rap, I want to hear, man. I really would love to know who is your top five, whether you want to
My
call it
top
current
five,
or general, or however you want to classify. I would love to hear your top five.
I would say my current top five right now is probably Danny Myers,
Mm-hmm.
B. Dot, Loso, um, who else would I put in my top five? I would say, and this is just like my top five like favorite people. I would say Charlie Clips. I love Charlie. I've always loved Charlie. I think he's like very, very creative. Um, and I would say I will put 40 bars in there too.
Nice. That's a diverse five, man.
Mhm.
Is there anybody that you would like? You think stylistically will match up with you well, and you're like, me and this person could put on a classic. Like they don't, it don't even have to be on your hit list, but you just think to yourself like, okay, my style, the way I battle, the way you battle, we can put on a good battle and entertain the crowd and have something for YouTube to enjoy. Who's somebody you think
I
matches up
think,
with you on that level?
and we've actually talked about this, but I think me and Twerk will be a good battle. I really think Twerk will be a good battle. I like his performance, and he has abilities to command the crowd, and I think the clash of me and him will be amazing.
Right.
So I definitely think Twerk is somebody. I definitely want to battle Official too. I think me and her would be a good style clash. I've said that for like a long time. LA Battlegrounds was actually going to set that up, but she had something already set up, so we couldn't do it or whatever. But I definitely would want to. I think that would be a good battle too.
Right. Right. The same night you battled Ehart, Cali battled Twerk, and it must have been
Mhm.
great for him because Twerk at the moment was hot. You know, he's still hot right now, so it must have been a really
Yeah,
big look
yeah,
for him. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That was a really good look for him. That was. I said, and I think I told him like, yo, like I wish somebody would have been able to give me that opportunity to battle like a Twerk, like so early on. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
was such an amazing opportunity. You had to even stand in front of church. There's so many battle rappers that wish they could be like, oh, let give me Twerk. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, for sure,
yeah,
man. Yeah, he's an upcoming star for sure. Well, he's already
yeah.
like one of the guys that looking forward to as a future, like for URL, like, and he's had such a great year, probably one of the best rookie years
Mhm.
in history, as far as to me.
Yeah,
Besides Arsenal,
they mentioned them in Source magazine.
yeah, but yeah, exactly. So like, besides Arsenal's rookie year, which was a decade ago, I haven't seen a rookie year like Twerk's, and whew, so it was great. And so Twerk, Official. Give me one more name.
One more name. Um, I'm trying to think who would put on a good show with me. I mean, I think honestly, I think Me and Daylight would have been the most amazing show ever, but it didn't go down.
Yeah,
But
Daylight's pretty clever. I had a name that I was actually gonna throw at you that I think will actually look really good with you. Mike
hmm
P, because Mike P's clever. He's a good writer.
oh yeah,
He's funny.
he's really clever. You're absolutely right.
That's somebody I
You're
instantly thought
absolutely
about.
right.
And Mike P and Daylight battled near the same time you were supposed to
hmm
battle Daylight, and they put on a really good show. And stylistically, it just came together well. So I thought of Mike P against you. I was like, you know what, Mike P and Fly King would be really good. Like they both could crack jokes. They both could stray away from the stereotypical predictable bars that somebody would think. Like he wouldn't take a gay approach, and you wouldn't take a white approach. You guys would be more creative
Right.
than that. And then
But
you
that would look crazy because the fact of who I am and then who he is,
right,
like we're
right,
two
right. Yeah,
people that
yeah.
are like a
As far as the
what you would call a
politics, yeah,
sore thumb.
yeah, yeah. As far as the politics and stature, that's a whole nother
hmm
conversation, But
Right.
as far as style, I think that would have looked really good. That could translate
I
well.
agree. I agree.
And getting into the politics a little bit, like, do you have any goals as of right now in battle rap? Like, okay, like, I want to be on this league, I want to be on this card, or I want to battle this person. Like, what's kind of like the end game as far as you in battling?
Is me in battling? I mean, I think at one point I did feel like, oh, I want to be on Summer Madness, or I want to be on, in Canada on King of the Dot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's something that is going to happen. So I feel like, I'm going to have to, just pick out names that I feel like make sense and just kind of bring the names over to me, like, bring the names over to Opulence or bring
Mm-hmm.
the names over to LA Battlegrounds and just kind of see where it goes from there. Because if I'm able to do that with, E Hart, on a league with no views, then maybe I should just try to go that route instead of trying to aspire to be on a big stage. I think it'd be, because I'm kind of thinking of it like this, like Smack putting me on a big stage, maybe it's kind of like, we can't do that because we're going to lose respect for, allowing a gay rapper to be on a big stage like that. So I've kind of, I don't want to say moved on from wanting to do that, but I kind of feel like I just don't think that it's going to happen. So I'm just going to find people who I want to battle and just, battle them.
You don't think that you building the fan base with a couple more battles wouldn't have enough support to probably get onto a league, into a bigger stage? Because
I feel like now Bap and Debo was at the event when I battled Ehart, and I've talked to them about being on Queen of the Ring. So, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I was asked not to.
right,
they want to
right.
keep everything that they're doing so classified. So you might see me over there, but as far as like a Smack stage or a King of the Dot stage, I just don't know if it's gonna happen. Even if I have a big fan base, I think, and I don't know this, but I feel like their perspective, like Organic perspective or Beasley's perspective, is kind of like, yeah, I fuck with him, yeah, he fire. But if I put him on there, they're gonna give me a lot of heat for putting a gay rapper on, our platform, and people already troll the shit out of me just for being gay. So now they're trolling Smack or they're trolling Organic because they had me on their platform. You know what I'm saying? Even though I feel like, if I were on either stage or any stage, if I was on Smack or King of the Dot, it would be a very, very lucrative battle. Like I definitely would not come playing, and I would definitely. If people feel like I put on the show now, if you put me on a big stage, I'll have an elephant come out. Like, don't fuck with me, don't play with me. So I don't think that they would do that at the end of the day. And I feel like I've had opportunities. Like I've had a GZ battle, and my opponent didn't show up. I had a PG, and my opponent didn't show up out here.
Really?
This was a while ago. Yes, I did.
Oh wow. Who you remember who you were supposed to battle?
Huh?
Do you remember who the PG was against?
I don't remember. I think the nigga name was Titan. It was like this was like maybe 2 years ago. So neither one of us was like no names, but I think his name was Titan. I have the flyer somewhere. I have to dig down on my Instagram. But I was supposed to battle on a PG card out here on the West. And then it was at a time where I don't remember the person's name who was running the West Coast PGs, but it was a scandal where he was taking people money or something like that, and they got rid of him.
Oh, wow.
I forgot his name. It started with a P. I forgot. Prospect or something like that. I don't remember his name. But then they passed it on to someone else, and I was supposed to be on the next PG card, but then that person stopped answering my messages, and then I had got word back that someone had told him, like, oh, they can't book me because of the little gay agenda, so that had a lot to do with him deciding not to have me on the next card. So that's why I say about not being on a big stage like that, because everybody's like, you can't have him because of the gay agenda. So I don't know if anybody's going to be able to get past that.
I think to counter the agenda, and this is going to support you a lot, the internet fucks with you. And that's big because, man, the internet's ruthless. Them YouTube comments is ruthless.
Yes, they are.
And I just laugh at it because you probably, like, when a battle drops, you think, oh, man, I'm going to get a lot of hate. But it's the exact opposite. A lot of guys even admit it in the comments, like, oh, I hate his voice, but he has bars. Oh, I didn't expect to like this, but he's fire. Or I respect his pen.
A lot of people would say not supposed to like this. I was fucking dying.
Like a lot of people will go in there wanting to hate you, but they say, you know
Uh-huh.
what? I gotta respect it, and that's good. You know, I had Lex Luthor on the show recently, and he had about maybe 40 battles before he even got on Smack, and he always had a really like a funny style, joking, a little nerdy, but something you would never envision being on Smack. And the internet hated him.
Right.
So when Smack booked him, they told him, "All right, let's see how the internet likes you." And he was concerned because the internet hates him. But this time around, things switched. So they care a lot about the content and how it's perceived and the feedback on it. And you receive good feedback on the content online. That matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be the argument as to down the line why things have to change. Like you have another battle or two, like the Ehart battle, where like comments are left and right. Yo, this guy is good. This guy is good. I was supposed to like this, but this was fire.
Mm-hmm.
That'll get you to push where it's like, okay, you know what? We can't ignore this anymore. Let's give this guy what he deserves. And I think LA Battleground. I think LA Battleground at this point needs to give you a better opponent. You've been there already five, 6 times, and you showed out already.
Yeah, I know. And I was supposed to be there daylight, and they didn't show up.
Right.
But it is what it is. So hopefully they do. But and it's not. It's all up. But when you telling me that story, how he had 40 battles before he got on Smack. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's kind of like, it'll happen. Things happen when they're supposed to. So
right.
Keep the fight, and you'll be on there. So maybe I should look at it like that.
Yeah, man.
Because if they call me to be on the big stage, like I would love to, and I would take it so seriously. Like,
I'm sure, man, because you didn't get this far to slack off. So like, the next time they give you a good look, that person has to watch out. Like you coming in there hungry. And there's nothing more dangerous than a hungry battle rapper. That really, really wants the spot and the respect. Forget the money, forget the fame, forget all the stuff. They want the respect. People that want that are dangerous to come across.
I definitely want the respect. I definitely strive for the respect. So yeah.
Yeah, man. So man, I definitely I'm coming close to that time where I gotta wrap things up. But Fly King, man, I really appreciate it, and I really admire you a lot. And believe me, I will be following your career closely, and I'm very critical and fair. So, the great times I'll praise you, and any of the tough times I'll be there to give you that criticism. But I look forward to following the rest of your battle career, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I really do.
No doubt, man. Before I let you go, any music you're working on, anything you want to plug on in?
You can check out my music. I'm on iTunes, Tidal, Spotify. I have a new single, Rendezvous, that's out with Chopper Taylor. We actually recorded that on the Bad Girl Club. I was on Bad Girl Club season 16. So you can check out my single with her. I have music coming out. And it's Fly King on all social media and, everywhere if you want to check me out.
Nice, man. Nice. And you as far as your music, you have a group, right? Like you have a whole, like the Fly King Media. Is it like you or is it a couple other MCs as well?
It's just me. Yeah.
Okay.
Me. I was in the group when I started out rapping, but I branched off. But this was before I started. This is a long time ago. This is before I started doing my solo project. I was doing music within the group, and then we kind of disbanded, and I just went solo.
Nice, man. Nice. I definitely will check out your music, man, and hopefully I get to see you. In one thing I want battle rappers to start bringing back is ciphers, man. I miss the ciphers from battle rappers, and I would love to see you in one because you having just straight bars without the performance would probably fit in perfectly in the cipher too.
Yeah. I would love to do, a cipher. I was on the first LA Battleground cipher. If you want to check that one out. That was
back in 2015, right?
That was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually before I was supposed to battle Daylight, I believe.
Yeah. That was. I think that was before the first LA beef. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
I was on that one. But yeah, I would love to do another one.
Yeah, man. So, my brother, man, I appreciate you, man. Definitely have a wonderful night.
No problem, friends. You have a good evening.
You too, man.
All right, bye-bye.
Nice. Good. Yeah, I like that one.